is this? Lucky me. Not just one, but two lovely ladies to my left. I guess right on the screen there for you. It's Erin Dolan and Anita Marks for this Wednesday edition of Bet. And it is a jam-packed show, ladies. We got the U.S. Open teeing off tomorrow at Brookline. So the caddy, America's caddy, Michael Collins, is going to join us to help us select who we think are the right plays and maybe even a winner at the United States Open. The puck daddy Greg Wyshynski gonna drop by as the puck drops on the Stanley Cup Final. Game 1 on ABC tonight. And of course the NBA Finals continue as Boston is clinging to life. Should be a fun weekend in Boston, by the way. So ladies, we have little time to waste. Let's jump right in and lead off with Major League Baseball. This has kind of been your specialty so far this season, Erin. It is long ball, long shot. So looking at the slate today, we'll get to you kind of batting in the middle of our order. I want Anita to lead it off. When you look across the slate today and tonight in Major League Baseball, is there one player you want to bet on going yard tonight, Anita?
Really? I get the tee box first? Tyler, that's nice. Give me Austin Riley tonight for the Atlanta Braves going up against Washington. 16 home runs on the season, 35 RBIs. The Braves have been knocking the snot out of the ball. 17 home runs their last 4 games, and they're going up against Petty tonight. No bueno against the Braves. 10.80 ERA, and he's given up 10 home runs in 31 innings. So give me Austin Riley tonight.
Yeah, Bravos have been tearing the cover off of the baseball. Erin Dolan has been tearing the cover off this prop market this season. Erin, what do you have in long ball, long shots?
We have to really stop prefacing every segment with this because it puts so much pressure on me, but we're going Ramirez plus 265. They're taking on the Rockies today. Austin Glomber is going to be on the mound. He has a 3-6 record as well as a 6.17 ERA. And if you look at the total for this game, it's sitting at 12. So we're expecting to see a ton of runs. Ramirez was big last night in terms of that go-ahead win. They ended up winning that game 4-3, but he has ended the season, or so far the season, has had 16 home runs, 9 more than anybody else on his team. So if anybody's going to be able to hit a homer for the Cleveland Guardians today, it's going to be Ramirez plus 265.
Not until the final out of the World Series is recorded, Erin, will I fail to remind our viewers, whether it's here or bet, that you hit 4 of your first 5 long ball, long shots to start this season. So get used to it, my friend, because I'm not going to stop. Let's see if I can get on track, because I don't think I've taken one deep yet. I don't think I've gone over the wall. I'm looking at Wrigley Field tonight, guys. The weather report indicates that it's going to be about 90 to 95 degrees this evening on the north side of Chicago, and the wind will be blowing directly out to center at 20-plus miles an hour. Wrigley will be a launching pad tonight, so I think we're going to see multiple home runs from both the Padres and the Cubs. I'm looking at Trent Grisham because of the price. Plus 550 is one of the best prices I can get because the market realizes the weather. A lot of guys are priced below plus 200. Guys like Wisdom, guys like Machado, the big power hitters. Grisham is not known, as a power hitter, but 40% of the balls he puts in play this year are in the air. He's got a 12.6% fly ball to home run ratio. Let's see if he can put one up in the air and just let the wind do the rest at plus 550. I like Trent Grisham to go deep tonight at Wrigley Field. So, Erin, hang tight. You can go back into the clubhouse. See if you can find maybe another long ball, long shot for Friday's show before we get started. Anita and I are going to step to the tee box here and discuss the United States Open before we welcome you back, Erin, for your picks as well. Right now, we switch Erin out for Michael Collins, America's caddy. My man, Michael Collins, on the grounds there at Brookline, the country club, they call it, site of the United States Open. All right, let's dig right in, Michael. One of the, I guess, favorites for this tournament is Rory McIlroy, coming off a win, taking some shots at Greg Norman afterwards as he notched his 21st career PGA win. We know it's been a long time since Rory's hoisted, the trophy for a major, but he's playing good golf, and he seems to be locked in because of the other things that are happening in the golf world. You think Rory is a wise play? What kind of chance do you give him this week?
Man, Rory scares the heck out of me. There are reasons I would stay away from him at all costs, just because history of winning the week before and then winning a U.S. Open, just isn't done. It doesn't happen out there. But Rory is that one dude who can carry momentum. And the thing is, the momentum for him is not just about playing good golf right now. This dude is so motivated to be the PGA Tour banner carrier. And for him to go out there and win a major championship, especially if one of those guys from the LIV Tour is playing good golf and gets in contention on Saturday and Sunday too. But for me, after that win at RBC and how he won against Justin Thomas going down to the 17th, I just can't put my money on him, man. I just don't trust it. But that man is motivated. So if he is up there at the end, I'm not going to be surprised. But if I got to put money on him, nah, I'm staying away from him. And Erin, I love that Philadelphia Eagles helmet in the background. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Well, Erin's in the clubhouse right now. You've got me asking your questions, but let's talk about Andy North for a second. Now, he's all over JT. Same odds for JT, around 10-1, 11-1, that you can get for Rory. How does this course set up for JT this week?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. This golf course is going to play really firm and really fast. And for JT, who loves to smash driver around, he's not going to need it. So I'll say the same thing about JT that I said about Rory, and it's hard for me to say because Andy North is just over there and was going to be giving me the stink eye the whole time that I'm saying stay away from Justin Thomas if you're out there making bets. So after the battle that Justin Thomas and Rory had last week, yes, there's going to be some adrenaline left in the tank, and it'll look good on Thursday and Friday, but the U.S. Open ain't won on Thursday and Friday. It's won on Saturday and Sunday. So Justin Thomas and Rory, I both expect to make the cut and play well, but I think over the weekend, they might fade just a little bit.
All right, Caddy, two names that we've mentioned so far, JT and Rory, are kind of the flag bearers or the torch carriers for the PGA Tour. This is a USGA event. It is not a PGA Tour event. So some of those golfers that defected to the LIV Tour are allowed to participate in this United States Open. Here is a look at the odds for the biggest names that have decided to leave the PGA Tour. Dustin Johnson, a U.S. Open champ, 40-1, shortest odds. You do have Bryson DeChambeau, also an Open champ. Major champions in Sergio, Patrick Reed, and Louis Oosthuizen as well. Looking at that board, do you like the chances of any one of these players who are now synonymous with the LIV Tour to win this week or contend at Brookline?
I'm going to give you two names to look at on that board. Both of them with really nice numbers. Number one, Louis Oosthuizen at 65-1. For Louis, it's all about his back. And the temperature is supposed to be in the upper 70s to mid 80s, which should be perfect for a guy with a bad back. And Louis is a ball striking fool who will hit a lot of greens. And if he hits a lot of greens, he doesn't have to make birdies, he just has to make lots of pars. But Bryson DeChambeau at 80-1, I know he hasn't played great golf, but you have to know that he's been injured and not 100%. And in talking to his caddy earlier today, he says Bryson is back to hitting 80% of the amount of golf balls that he normally would, which is perfect for a U.S. Open because I don't want him hitting that many golf balls if he's feeling 100% healthy. So Bryson DeChambeau at 80-1 and Louis Oosthuizen at 65-1, heads up.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of players so far in this 3-minute segment. Give me the one guy that you love the most that you think is going to win on Sunday.
Sam Burns. Sam Burns gets his first major championship title. You want to talk about a guy who's running a little bit of a heater? I mean, how many wins has he got so far this year? And after his last win, he has still played great golf, where a lot of times you see a guy win and they have a fall off. Nah, not Sam. He has stayed motivated because he ain't got as many wins as Scottie Scheffler and he ain't got the major. But guess what? This is a great, perfect golf course for Sam Burns and a guy who's playing really solid golf right now.
Dig the pick, dig the shirt, dig the insight and analysis from our caddy, your caddy. He's America's caddy. It is Michael Collins. Michael, thank you for dropping by.
You got it. Hey, the shirt is Caddyshack's pool scene. It's a William Murray. And somewhere on here, Bill Murray and a candy bar don't look right.
Oh, that is too good. Thank you so much, America's Caddy.
No duty in the pool. No duty in the pool, Michael. No duty in the pool.
Hey, you see everybody still in the pool swimming. No one's panicking trying to get out the pool.
Oh, I get it. The bluish shirt. I mean, the shirt is blue, I should say, like the water in the pool. I mean, always the best fashion and always the best insight from America's Caddy, Michael Collins. All right, let's slide out the wonderful silver locks on the caddy's chin for the Goldilocks yet again atop Erin Dolan's head. We are now ready to give our plays, our picks, after hearing what the caddy had to say for par 3. We each got 3 picks. You go straight through them one by one. Erin, since we haven't heard from you in a while, you are on the tee box first. Give us your 3 plays you're looking to make at the betting window for the United States Open.
First play, we're going Xander Schauffele to finish in the top 20. And you actually would be able to cash this in 13 of his 20 career starts, finishing in the top 20. And at this particular tournament, I wanted to mention his worst finish is tied 7th. So I'm kind of pulling it back a little bit. Instead of going in the top 10 market, going in the top 20 market for him, that's plus 100. And also, he's finished in the top 20 in 8 of 11 tournaments so far this season. The only time he's missed it, of course, was the 2 important, I would say, tournaments that he missed, Masters as well as the Players' Championship. But nonetheless, I do like him to finish in the top 20. Also looking at Rory McIlroy to finish in the top 10, that's plus 130. We know that he's hot right now, and when Rory is hot, he typically stays hot. He just won the RBC Heritage Open, and he hasn't won a major since 2014. But again, I try to find value in that top 10, top 20 type of markets. Now, another one, I'm not sure if this is going to be a fan favorite, but I'm a huge fan of Brooks Koepka, but I'm going to take him to miss the cut of plus 140. For anybody who follows him and his new lovely wife, they got married last week. I feel like he might just be a tad distracted. We know he didn't make the cut at the Masters as well as the Players' Championship, then followed that up with a tied at 55th finish at the PGA Championship. I just think he might be a little bit distracted. He's been dealing with injuries. We haven't seen the Brooks Koepka that we've seen in the past couple of seasons. But nonetheless, I'm going to take him to miss the cut. That's a plus 140. So those are 3 plays, all at plus money that I like for the U.S. Open.
All right, good stuff there with your 3 shots. Anita, you're on the tee box. What you got?
I love Sungjae Im this week, and it's a long shot. It's 40-1, but I think it's the best bet on the slate. He's playing such exceptional golf. He plays really well, especially on the big stage. Tied for 2nd, tied for 8th. Last 2 times he played in the majors. Tied for 17th at the PGA Championship. And when you look at the metrics of what these dudes need in their bag in order to win at Brookline, he checks a lot of the boxes. Top 30 in driving accuracy, top 20 in greens and regulation, and you're going to have to scramble your butt off this week in order to win this tournament. And sure enough, he's 3rd best on tour in scrambling. Top 20, give me some Max Homa. He's been playing great golf as well. Another guy who loves to play on the big stage and plays well on championship-style golf courses. Tied for 5th at the Memorial, so he's coming in. His game is on point. And last but not least, give me the Spaniard, Arnaus. And I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, Tyler. You're better with pronunciations than I am, but 2nd best Spaniard behind Jon Rahm. He's coming in. He's a guy who can grip it and rip it. He's got the distance. He's got the accuracy. He's hitting the ball extremely well. And I got him finishing in the top 40 as well.
I'm going to give you a solid par on the pronunciation there for Arnaus. You got it on the green. 2-putt, boom. Very good there. And I do like that name. It may be a name that not a lot of people here stateside know because he doesn't come over here and play in America often. But if you look at what he's done on the World Tour, he has been a very consistent performer all season long. All right, my 3 plays. We're going to start with this one. You know I like to find some really good value. So how about a first-round leader? Aaron Wise, the American, 60-1 to be the leader after the first round of the United States Open. So far on tour this season, he is 7th in scoring average. Just a shade under 69 is his average, 68.7. Wise is in good form. He has the game that seemingly fits for this course, so it's 60-1. I think that's good value for someone who's probably unlikely to win, but could have a very good Thursday. He's also in that very first group, Thursday AM, where the weather conditions and wind will be most docile. I, like Aaron, have a missed cut prop, and it's Patrick Cantlay, one of the top players in the world. Cantlay this season has been awesome, except for at the majors, and that kind of has been a trend throughout his career. He's had some good finishes at the Masters, but right when we think Cantley's ready to break through, he usually drops a dud. And this is going to be a very difficult Stern test at plus 275 for someone whose game is kind of going backwards as we creep deeper into 2022. I'm gonna risk it for the nice payout, plus 275 for a guy who has some pretty short odds to be an outright winner. I think Cantley could continue the struggles that we saw from the Masters and from the PGA Championship. He missed the cut at the PGA Championship and just looked completely disinterested during those rounds when his game was not working. And then Erin touched on it. He's my pick to win at 22-1 at plus 225. You can get him inside the top 10. That's Xander Schauffele. Guy's played 5 United States Opens in his career, and he has finished no worse than 7th in any of those. He's a guy who plays his best when the course conditions are the hardest. He plays his best when the field is the deepest. He plays his best at the majors, and there's no major where he plays better than the United States Open. So even though he's not a major winner, I think this can be a spot where he breaks through, but top 10 has been 100% for him in his career. 5 for 5 inside the top 10 at the U.S. Open, which is just wild considering how difficult the test is. All right. Our par 3 picks, good stuff. Anita, you can take a trip to the 19th hole and enjoy an Arnold Palmer, or you can spike it and make it a John Daly. I won't tell anyone. Erin and I are going to tackle the Stanley Cup Final, and we're going to slide in the Puck Daddy as he joins us now here on Bet. Game 1 tonight from Colorado as the Avalanche host the 2-time defending Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. The Avalanche just kind of literally avalanched their way through the Western Conference. Only the Blues beat them in the Western Conference playoffs. A little more work for the defending Cup champs as they had to get through the Rangers in 7 games. But you see what we have tonight. Avalanche, a big home favorite, a total of 6. Puck Daddy, let's start with just Game 1. How are you approaching wagering tonight's Game 1?
Well, I lean the over 6 here because of the layoff, the atmosphere, the fans, everything else. But the bet I really like in this game is the Tampa Bay Lightning over 2.5 on the team total. You can get it at minus 125. I think they're going to have a very strong Game 1 offensively. Darcy Kemper is the expected starter for the Colorado Avalanche in this game. He's been over this total in 3 of his last 4 games. I like there to be some scoring here in Game 1, and then maybe you settle into a more defensive series after that. But I do like the Lightning over the team total of 2.5.
And Puck Daddy, way back on May 25th, you said you like the Lightning to beat the Avs. That was plus 425. So if you still like the Lightning, of course, this worked in your favor. Right now, William Hill, the most likely scenario, let's say, is for this to go 6 games, that's a plus 550, or to go 7 games, that's a plus 600. Do you still like the Lightning to win it all? If so, in how many games?
Well, I've taken the Avalanche in 6, which means congratulations to the Lightning on their Stanley Cup based on how my picks have gone. But no, I think the way to play this series, like you said, is to expect it to go long. If I was going to play the series, I would bet Game 6 and Game 7. You turn a profit either way. I think that's probably the way to go, is to bet the series to go long, sprinkle a little bit on it going 6 or 7.
All right, Puck Daddy, maybe a more savvy way to invest into the Stanley Cup Final is with the Conn Smythe. Of course, it is a postseason MVP award, not necessarily a Stanley Cup Final MVP award, but the biggest stage can often sway the voting. You see Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon are the 2 favorites. Vasilevsky not even the favorite. Tampa Bay Lightning, that'd be Nikita Kucherov, as he's sandwiched between Kucherov and Stamkos' line mate Rantanen, rounds out the top 6 there. If you had to make a play on the Conn Smythe right now based on what you've seen and what you expect in the final, who'd be your bet?
Well, I'll say this. If Colorado wins the Cup, I think Makar is going to win the Conn Smythe. He's putting together an historic MVP campaign for a defenseman in these playoffs. If you look at it, his points per game average, 3rd highest in NHL history for a defenseman so far through 14 games. I think if they win, he should win. If the Lightning win, logically it's going to be because of Andrei Vasilevsky shutting down the Colorado Avalanche. But don't sleep on 2 options. Nikita Kucherov, if he leads the Lightning in scoring for the playoffs. Vasilevsky has an MVP. Victor Hedman has an MVP in those 2 previous Cup wins. They may want to give Kucherov his flowers. And Steven Stamkos closed the previous round against the Rangers in impressive fashion. If he has a really strong final against the Avalanche and the Lightning three-peat, don't forget about the sentimental favorite of him maybe winning MVP. And he's a pretty large choice right now at plus 1,500.
The Puck Daddy, Greg Wyshynski from Denver, Colorado, site of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Should be a good one. You can watch the puck drop on ABC tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Puck Daddy, we appreciate you dropping by, and we'll be chatting throughout the rest of this Stanley Cup Final.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right, and there is Anita Marks, just through the magic of TV. She pops right back, so it's me and the two ladies here again. Before we move to the NBA Finals, Anita, I know you have a play that you want to share with the people for the Stanley Cup. What is it?
I have a play on everything. I mean, I wager if my dog hits the pee-pee pad every afternoon. All right, so yes, I do have a play here. I'm going over 6 goals tonight. I've got some interesting trends that I uncovered this morning, and these are fun. Number 1, 6 goals or more have been scored in the first game of the Stanley Cup since 2017. The only time that it did not happen was 2020, and there were 5 goals. The over is hit 17-6 when the line is 6 or more for Colorado. The line, it has gone over 12-6 combined when both teams are on 3-day rest. So as we saw, Vasilevsky, he came in on rest against the Rangers. They were able to go up 2-0. And as we know, this Avalanche offense, they are pretty explosive. So I'm going over 6 goals tonight with the trends and the fact that both these teams were on 3-day rest.
All right, sounds like you're in agreement there on the total with Puck Daddy. More picks from us and our squad on Daily Wagers, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, ESPN 2, as we dive into the Stanley Cup further there. Real quickly, Anita, what is the line on your doggy hitting the pee pad? Because I may need to go to my local book and put a few dollars down on that with your puppy there.
It's over 1.5 every day, by the way. And listen, my dogs get an A for effort. It always just it always ends up kind of like half on, half off. But I love them so much, I can't get upset.
Well, thankfully, I don't live with any ladies because, never mind. I was going to talk about my bathroom etiquette there, but the world doesn't need to know, and my mom would just be absolutely ashamed if I went any further with that. Let's move on to the NBA Finals. We have a crucial Game 6 tomorrow in Boston. For the Celtics, they have to win to extend this series to a Game 7. For the Warriors, it's an opportunity to win a 4th NBA championship in the last 8 years. All right, we still have, more than 24 hours to dive in further, change our minds. But as we sit here on Wednesday, Anita, let's start with you. Game script. Give me a side or total play before we get to props. Anita, you start.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. Call me wishy-washy. That's fine. I was bamboozled. What Curry foot injury? Are you kidding me? Now, granted, he went 0-9 from downtown this last game, but it's okay. The Warriors still win. So I'm back on that Warriors bus, baby. I'll take the points at +4. I like them on the money line. They're 1 win away. They can smell the blood in the water. They are Sharks in Boston tomorrow night. On top of that, Tatum not having a great series, only shooting 37%. He's been a turnover machine. Kerr's making great decisions in how he's utilizing Looney as well as Green, and of course Porter. Wiggins is going off. Boston's defense, they don't have an answer for him. And keep in mind, Robert Williams, the last 3 games, he's played over 29 minutes. So that's a concern, especially because of the knee. And he's the straw that stirs their drink on the defensive side of the court. So I like Golden State. I'll take the +4, and I'm going to play them on the money line.
Rocking your chef, Steph Curry. Not surprised to see you back on the Warriors. Erin, where do you stand before we get to props again? Side total play for Game 6.
Well, like Anita had mentioned, it's hard not to jump on the Warriors bandwagon at this point after what we saw the last 2 games from the Boston Celtics. I'd said this yesterday on Daily Wager. I just couldn't understand why the Celtics looked so disinterested in that first couple of quarters. Come that third quarter, they finally have a great quarter against a Warriors team that's so dominant in that quarter, a 10-0 run. Then they kind of just rolled over and let the Warriors take control of that game. Now, the one thing that I personally like for this game is for the Boston Celtics to cover that first half, but it has moved out a little bit too much for my liking. I just checked it literally 30 seconds ago. It's now Boston -3, and the spread for the entire game is Boston -3.5. So clearly, a lot of people, as well as odds makers, thinking that this game is going to be dominated by the Celtics in that first half. That does make sense. The only way to beat the Golden State Warriors is to jump out big on them and try to sustain the lead. That's what teams did in the previous series in this playoffs, and it was impactful in order for them to win. So for me personally, Boston's got to clean it up. I think they will be able to cover that first half spread. Again, I don't like it at -3. I like it better at -2.5, -2. We'll see if that comes back down. But overall, I mean, the Celtics should win this game at home. I think they will, but in terms of, we're talking numbers here. Are they going to win by how many points, this and that? So I'm probably going to shy away from the side and the total altogether. Look at that first half spread, but wait for it to come back down.
Yeah, people are getting wise to our favorite play for the Celtics when they are at home against the Warriors. I was hammering Celtics first half when they were in games 3 and 4 at home against this Warriors team. Easy win on both regards, games 3 and 4. I'm going to go right back because I do expect the Celtics to win game 6 and force a game 7. I'm just going to lean into what has worked. Celtics -3 in the first half. If you can find -2, -2.5, by all means, shop for that. But I do think the Celtics will come out motivated, focused. They'll be less sloppy with the basketball. They will get that jolt of energy they need because they seem kind of tired at the end of Game 5 from their home crowd and sleeping in their home bed. I like the Celtics big time in the first 24 minutes. Again, the Golden State Warriors on the road this postseason have a -17 net rating in the first half. They have been terrible in the first half when they're away from the Chase Center. So even with an opportunity to win the series and a 4th title, I'm going to trust that trend and those numbers that the Warriors have shown on the road this postseason. All right. We like to dabble in the prop market around here. Anita. By the way, we'll get to your baseball from Monday's show and next week, but please try and keep it tight. It was awesome what you did, but what do you have for the prop market for Game 6? Because we know you can get a little carried away, my lady.
I do get carried away. All right, so I've got 3 for you. First and foremost, I'm wearing this shirt for a reason, and that's Curry. Dude, again, went 0-9 from downtown. Draymond Green spoke to the media, said that he was livid. How often do we see Steph Curry livid? Not often. Dude's gonna go off. So I'm going over points and over 3-pointers for him. Wiggins, I'm going to that well. That points and rebounds at 26.5, I love it. Keep it there. You got 2 strong games from here where he went over that total. He's averaging 43 minutes, and Boston, they do not have an answer for him. I'm also throwing some money on him for the MVP, by the way, at 14-1, just throwing that out. And last but not least, Tatum, give me over turnovers. He's not taking care of the ball. He's got 10 turnovers the last 2 games. And guys, let's keep in mind, their previous 2 series, the Bucks and the Heat, those went the distance. A part of me is feeling that this Boston Celtics team, as great as they are, I think there's not a lot of gas left in this tank, and they're I think they're tired and they're getting careless.
It just doesn't seem right when Anita's given props or bets and there's only 3 plays on the board there. Very modest, but I like all of them. I expect Steph to bounce back. Wiggins has been a beast. And, maybe that's a harbinger of the Warriors winning if Tatum's turning the rock over, because when Boston has, they have lost. Erin, your turn. Prop market, what you got?
Yeah, I was expecting Anita to have at least 6 to 10, but I like 2 plays here. First one being Jason Tatum over 3.5 3-pointers made. Now, he's hit over this in 3 of the last 5. The reason I'm looking at this is because I do think that he can get over this number, but I don't ever really trust Tatum in terms of getting over his points prop. His points prop is currently at 27.5, juice to the over. He only hit over this once in 5 games. It is no surprise to anybody that he's been struggling, especially in those second half of games. I just think in terms of his 3-pointers made, he could be able to hit over this. Also, Steph Curry, like Anita mentioned, she thinks he's going to go off. I agree with that. He should be able to hit over 28.5 points. Last game he was terrible from 3, 0 for 9. That's the 2nd most 3-point attempts without scoring in a finals game all time. He failed to hit a 3-pointer for the first time since in 233 games. So I do think he's going to get there in terms of his points tomorrow. Those are 2 plays I like.
All right, some correlation there with you and Anita. She expects him to hit a lot of 3s. Steph Curry, you expect him to go over his points. Those correlate. I got 2 as well. It's Marcus Smart and Draymond Green. Marcus Smart over 15.5 points, something he has done in 4 of the 5 games this series. They're going to need a big game from him at home. And Draymond Green under 7.5 points, something he has done in 4 of 5 games this series. As a matter of fact, in games 3 and 4 in Boston, he scored a grand total of 4 points combined in those 2 road games. He's going to hear it from the crowd, no doubt about it. Those are the 2 props I like the most. Jam-packed show, baby.
Watch out.
Got both of these lovely ladies helping me out.
His mom's going to come after you on Twitter.
That's right, Mrs. Babers Green. My mom, sorry I'm mentioning my bathroom etiquette. She's Erin, she's Anita, I'm Tyler. We'll see you back here Friday on Bet.